There's a lot of stories out there put on YouTube and even on TV where they're basically gonna show you people that so-called in the wrong body. Now born as a boy and feel like it's in the wrong body, it actually was a girl or vice versa. But what you gotta understand, people, it's nothing but programming for the masses. And a lot of people feel like, yes, they're living in a good world and nothing bad going on. But why they're pushing this on the masses? Somebody born as a boy but he in a girl body? It's a girl in a boy body? I don't think so, people. It's a programming they bring to the masses, and hopefully you will take it and run. Let's get into this one right here. Bam.
Wake up. Yay.
Hi, my name is Eddie, little Eddie. I'm thinking, what's the rest of my name? There's Eddie boy. There's Eddie boy.
おっととエリちゃん、ほら。
What is this right here, y'all? That more look like a damn like a wall that they take mugshot on. What is this right here, people? It's just a fake shit they give the masses.
おっととエリちゃん、ほら。ダメ。
That baby alive? That's a real baby? Okay.
ああ、夜こうやって寝てくれたらいいけど。
Okay, shut up.
Okay, so finally, there you go. So this one that you see with the orange towel drying the face was the so-called baby they called Eddie that they was trying to move around. Little baby. Watch this right here, people. It's him right here. Let's see what it turned into. There you go. Remember, it was Eddie, a little boy. And a lot of times they're selling you this shit you never understand why they push it on you. It's to make it normal. Normalize this dumb shit on you. It's a boy right here dressed up like a girl. And that's what they promote. You understand me?
And that's how I get ready every morning.
Wow.
This is my house. This is 851. 851 and a half, sorry. My parents is 851.
Wow, 851 and a half.
This is my small apartment / bedroom. This is also where I've lived for like the past 12 years now.
All coding. And you see how it look, people? Keep sleeping.
Which is kind of a big part of who I am.
And of course, the purse that it got on is Coach with all C's that represent the number 3.
I spent a lot of time swimming in that pool, playing all sorts of games. And kind of one of the funniest things is, one year I just got so girly that my friend was like, it's really weird when you swim without a top on.
Wow, get so girly. So there you go, people. Born a boy and doing the girl thing right here, dressed up like a girl and everything, and even gonna get the surgery. Let's watch.
So, even before coming out as trans, I wasn't allowed to swim topless.
Wow, come out as trans.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
Lucky.
Of course, there you go, flashing the Baphomet sign on the masses. Of course, that's what it means. Transgender people, right there.
When I was 4 or 5, I realized that I
4 or 5. Wow. Harvard. There you go, people. Of course, they sell you this for a reason. I never really checked the Harvard in numerology, but I bet you it's coding. No doubt about it, people. It's Satanic College.
sent a girl. It was supposed to be that I was going to become a father and not a mother, and so that's kind of
All
where
of them look suspicious. All of them look
things sort of
suspicious.
started.
And Eddie's talking about video Cinderella Castle and the scene where the stepmothers tear off the dress that Cinderella is wearing.
You see, people? What they're talking about, people. Cinderella. What I don't tell you about Disney programming your kid's subconscious mind. You're not getting it, people. It's real talk right here, people. The damn Disney programming the young ones. That's what they're there for. And of course, they're gonna get him every time. Of course, they mention the Cinderella. And this is a boy. And I mention it all the time. That Disney basically turn a lot of boys into fucking girls. Change their gender for them by showing them all that fairy and fairy tales. Dumb on.
Being gone with it.
Wow.
No, you're not going to ball.
You're not going to the ball.
You see?
For the longest time, I kind of had this fantasy.
That's what it is, people. I already told you. I told you the Disney turned a lot of men into women, turned them into drag queens. That's what it is. By showing you all princesses. No doubt about
that
it.
I'd escape to, that like a fairy godmother would come and turn me into a girl and make everything better. It was kind of
Wow. And this one talking about a fairy godmother gonna come and turn him into a girl. You see what I'm talking about, people? The Disney's are programming for the dumb people. You program your kids without you even knowing. You turn it on, leave them with it because you think it's safe, and it basically make your kids have something to do. Looking at TV, they won't be bugging you or whatever. Give them something to do. Occupy their time. You turn on Disney, Nickelodeon, and all of them. What you think they're doing to your kids? You better wake up. You see the Geno? That's how they do it. They push it on the kids, people. Wow.
an escape for me.
Wow.
She came to me one time when she was probably about 4 years old, crying and saying, Daddy, I want to be a girl.
You see, and they always tell you that it's right around those age, 1 to 4, they started. You understand? This one at 4 years old, tell the dad that he want to be a girl. As you could see, the dad look real suspicious. Also, fake.
At the time, I just thought she was going through some kind of a phase.
I think she was 10 years old. She said something about, I feel like I'm like a two-person inside of me. Feeling one
Yes,
like
at 4 years old, you tell him you feel like it's 2-person inside of you. Wow, people, this is a programming. It's a devil hurt your living, people. And they after your kids. They have to get all of them flip over and kind of funny towards the new world order. Yes, people, where you can't tell people gender by just looking at them. That's where they're going.
boy, Eddie, and then the other is a girl.
When I was explaining to myself that I was a boy, it was because God had made me
the dad, people. The dad don't look like a real man. No way. It's a fake character.
that way,
There
which
you go. Fake
didn't
family
make
they give
a
the
really
masses.
great relationship as a 5-year-old between me and God, along with the Mormon culture and
The
how
Mormon
it can be
culture. The Mormon culture, huh? Good luck trying to hide with that fucking jawline and neck. Good luck.
really, really difficult to understand something when it's either not prevalent or it's just hidden.
And then when she got to be about 16, she had a girlfriend. So he had a girlfriend. And things seemed like they were getting better. She was less effeminate in the way she did
Look like a bony chest man with a thing on the neck to hide the Adam's apple.
things. And I thought, okay, it was just a phase.
Express.
Everything's fine. In our church, in the
Look
LDS
at
church,
them
she was
weird-looking
ordained to the priesthood and
characters.
was the first assistant to the bishop. And so she was, very involved. And so I came home one day because she hadn't shown up at church. And she was still in bed. And I came in and I said, hey, what's the deal? And she started crying. And she said, Dad, let's face it, I'm gay.
I came out as gay, but that was sort of my excuse to be myself, which was a woman. So I wore a woman's
Wow. Come out as gay just because it gonna be itself. It's an excuse to be itself. Come out as a woman. You believe that, people? Wow, this is how they dumb down the masses with the New World Order.
clothing, but I told everybody that I was gay. And, I
And every fucking time you see it doing the same thing, pulling back the hair to the side. That's what drags do. They're never comfortable as a female because they're not.
had feminine features, even though I was a boy. And a lot of people would think that I was a girl, and they would stop me from going into the bathrooms. And I
You
was
see it again? You see what it doing with the hand again?
I was, loud and proud
Loud
of being
and
gay
proud.
and not being very good at being gay. On top of being really
There you go, people. Wow, the Church of Jesus Christ. Wow, Latter-day Saints. Wow, programming for the masses.
conservative, LDS. We also went to a Mormon private school, my sister and I both. So being LDS was our life. It's one of the reasons that, I didn't find out about what being trans was until I was an adult and out of high school.
Wow, it's bullshit, people. You couldn't find out what trans was. And you're telling me that you've been transgender ever since you're born. Of course, that's what you're telling the masses. That at 4 years old, you wanted to turn into a girl. What do you call that?
A lot of people, they think you didn't know what gay people were until you were 14 or 15 years old. It's like,
Bullshit.
where have you lived? Well, I was living in Utah in a Mormon
bullshit. You
saturated.
see what they keep doing with the hair?
Have you lived? Well, I was living in Utah in a Mormon,
There you go.
saturated Mormon community
Bullshit.
and homeschooled or going to a Mormon private school. So,
Bullshit.
so, there was not an opportunity to learn about, the things that were different or inappropriate.
Different or appropriate? Which one is it?
Even
You
before
see what happened, people? The stars on the neck right there for the fallen angels. And I told you, when they do this transformation, they feel closer to their so-called God, the damn Baphomet, of course, and Dragulus being right here.
I always
on
spent
screen.
tons of time getting ready. My sister who's much more just sort of relaxed and in herself, wouldn't take as much time getting ready. And my dad had this joke that he would tell, Eddie spends all this time getting ready because Shirley is so beautiful. And normally, you say that with a brother and sister involved, and it's not a big deal. But to me, I was a boy, but I didn't really feel like a boy. And to hear my dad
and
say
I tell you, people, they're gonna normalize that shit on the dumb people real easy. But a man could born in a woman body and a woman born in a man body. You see that, people? And of course, the doctors already have it in their fucking mouth and diagnose them with something. You got it? Wow, that's how they normalize shit on the masses. Just let the doctor use it in his mouth and tell you it's a sickness.
like I wasn't as beautiful as my sister was.
Yes, you're gonna cry? So you're a man, you're born a boy. The dad tell you that the sister is more beautiful than you, and of course you're gonna crack up and cry because it's also a woman.
It was really hard,
Wow.
and I didn't have any confidence in my appearance growing up and seeing my
drags on the masses, they're dressed up. That's what they do.
sister get asked out on dates and taken to the dance to a 15-year-old. That's important. And
For your number 6, you're gonna feel it for this one right here. It never gonna cry. Trying to pull on your heartstring so you can side with the situation right here. A man turn into a woman. No way. Bam.
that was really hard. And I was like, of course, I'm this ugly boy.
You see, every minute
And
you
my
pull back the hair, but it never gonna cry.
sister's this beautiful girl. So that was really a really difficult thing for me to deal with.
Of course, they go feature the Coca-Cola in the back. This IV right here, I told you, people, all coded. V6. V is a 6, 3 is a E. Wow. Give you the one eye symbol right there, holding the Baphomet and the damn fan.
Being in a Mormon private school, I didn't graduate. I just stopped going when I came out.
Watch it, people. Look at the movements with the hands. You can tell that he can't fool nobody. It's the same thing the drags do. That's hidden. You understand? Watch them and they can never pass off. As a female, they're too fucking fidgety. There you go.
We sent Eddie to Japan to stay with his grandparents for about 6 months.
I was watching
6 months, coded.
TV with my grandparents, and they had this panel of 100 trans people. My grandma turned to me and was like, "Oh, this is all about you." And I thought, "No, Grandma, this is not. I'm different than that."
And then all of a sudden that really hit her, and then started to watch what's going on, and she really realized that that's what she has.
It was months later that she came in to me and she said, "Dad, I want you to know I'm not really gay. I'm a woman that's trapped in a man's body, and that's why I thought I was gay."
Wow.
And then she
people.
He said, "But don't worry, I'm not gonna get a sex change operation or anything because I think she was worried about me." One event that was a real turning point was one night I was sitting on the couch and Eddie came walking in and she sat down on the couch and she had a really strange look on her face.
I had this dream that
And it's this one right here in the purple dress right here, people. A man in a purple dress fooling the dumb folks.
and it was a reoccurring dream that I'd chopped off my penis and I was in a really dark
There
spot.
you go, people. There you go, people. I told you, it's a new thing they're pushing on the masses. It's not new, but it's coming to the light, what they're really pushing. The people just blind and couldn't see it. You see what they're talking about? All of them talking about their dream of chopping off the penis. Wow. I can't believe this, people. The one that they have on the National Geographic say the same thing. Wish they would have come. The fair would come and turn the penis into a vagina. It's the same thing. Wow.
Space and not necessarily logical.
And her plan was to perform the operation on herself, and we live just across the street from a hospital.
You see that, people? Why you think they're telling you this right here? That he was gonna perform the act on himself because they want, just in case this one catch your kids, and the kids say, listen, I wanna turn into a girl. You don't hesitate because it might chop off the penis without you knowing, and it gonna die. That's why they tell you this right here. You understand? So you can go ahead, side with them, give them the sex change, whatever they want, so they don't chop their penis off and die.
I was in a really dark spot, a space, and not necessarily logical.
And her plan was to perform the operation on herself, and we live just across the street from a hospital. And she said, I knew you could get me to the hospital before I died, and then I wouldn't have this thing anymore that I hate. And she said,
that thing that she ate is a penis. Wow. You hear that, people? What kind of world we live in? You ever imagine that you could hear words like that coming out of people's mouth? She and penis. She don't want the penis that she have. She. Do you hear the words that coming out of these people's mouth? That's how they normalize that shit on the dumb folks. You never get it, people.
I started to do the operation, and then I realized that I had a serious problem.
I think they took it more seriously.
So he was starting to do the operation, almost cut his own penis off. It's garbage, people. This is how they push it on you and tell you to pay attention to the kid and see if they want to change out from a boy to a girl or a girl to a boy.
I realized I need to take some more serious steps, and we got me to counseling. And after being diagnosed,
you see that, people? Diagnose. What I don't tell you. The doctor got a diagnose for it right there. You understand? That's how they make it normalize on your ass.
Able to, start taking hormones, change my...
Starting to take hormones. You see it? The doctor diagnosed something, and then all of a sudden they start taking hormone pills so it can look more like girl, grow breasts and everything.
Name and all those things, and change my name and all those. I think they took it more seriously, realized I need to take some more serious steps, and we got me to counseling. And after being diagnosed, I was then able to, start taking hormones, change my name and all those things.
Change your name.
Work towards surgery.
And work towards surgery. There you go, people. So they're gonna get the surgery done before that one chop the penis off and die in the damn bedroom. There you go. This is bullshit. As you could see them post up right there with the star on. Wow, worshiping the devil in plain sight. There you go, people. This is how they normalize it on your ass right here, showing you these sodomites doing regular shit like you. As you could see, this one show up in a purple shirt, the so-called dad. And I told you, people, it is a programming for your kids. Hopefully one day they could come around and do the same thing as these sodomites that they show you. Of course, take away all of this shit right here. Make sure you know what I'm saying right here. Keep your kids away from this satanic programming that they got on TV and the web, all over. Catch me on the run. I'm gone.